at 5109 Liberty Highway. Today's date is August the 9th, 2023. The weather outside is 77 degrees and it's clear skies. The high of 89 today. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. Our shout outs go to Jane, Josh, Heather, Carter, Blaine, Hampton, Hudson, Grant, Sylvia, Heidi, Charlie, Harper, and always loving Martin. Here at Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass, we have music lessons. As a matter of fact, we had a lesson this morning. Mr. Gary Bell's over there. He had a guitar lesson this morning, and he'll be here the rest of the day giving lessons. We teach. We have lessons during the week for fiddle, classical guitar, banjo. Sylvia, Heidi, Charlie, Harper, and always loving Martin. Hold on, we got here at Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass. Okay, sorry, I had to turn the volume down on the iPad. Anything with a string on it, we teach. We have the best instructors by far in the upstate, in my opinion. And for more information, you can call Don at 864-376-1482 for all your musical needs. You can do it right here at Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass, and we'll be glad to take care of your music needs. Sponsor for today is Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass. Again, we're located at 5109 Liberty Highway in Pendleton, South Carolina, and we're the sponsor today for the show. So for all your music and fellowship needs, right here at Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass, and we can take care of all your needs, whatever they are, music or no music. Give us a call. Again, we're located at 5109 Liberty Highway. That's a little prompter. Again, we're located at 5109 Liberty Highway, Pendleton, South Carolina. My number is 864-376-1482. So you can call me. Even if we're not on the show, you can call me anytime at that number, and I'll be glad to chat with you. We're also on YouTube, Facebook under Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass, and Instagram under BG Bluegrass under Instagram. Okay, we have some stuff that we sell here at the store. This is kind of new. We have pork rinds for sale. Yeah, good pork rinds. We have 5 different flavors, and they're $7 a bag. We can't ship pork rinds, but you can come by the store and get them. We have vinegar, smoky bacon, barbecue. We have plain, hot and spicy, salt and vinegar, and they're delicious. So you have to come by and get a bag of pork rinds. Okay, we also sell hats. We sell coffee. We have the best coffee in the upstate. Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass is its own brand of coffee, Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass Cafe, and our flavors are banjo blend, guitar hazel, fiddle me crazy, bass dog, dobro Danish, and mandolinilla. And during the holidays, we have holiday pumpkin. Some of the best coffee you'll ever drink, I promise you. Okay, so much for that. Now we're going to talk about our guest. We have our guest today is a longtime friend and a brother. We go way, way, way back, and we've done a bunch of stuff together throughout the years. I guess we kind of met at Midway Church years ago, and that's another probably several interviews to talk about Midway Church and our experiences there at Midway Presbyterian Church in Anderson, South Carolina. I've done some construction projects for Jeff and his brother. Jeff and I have been on the mission fields to Haiti. We've done a lot of stuff together. We haven't been together since he retired much because he doesn't go out a whole lot, but we try. We're gonna change that, huh, Jeff?
That's right.
Yeah, we're gonna start hanging out together.
We're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, we'll get in trouble together. Anyway, he and his brother Mike are the former owners of Perx Carwash in Anderson, South Carolina, and I'm sure if you're an Andersonian or anywhere around, you're familiar with Perx Carwash. It's been there for. And I'll let him tell you how long it's been there, how it got started, and all that about the car wash and what he does now, and got a lot to talk about. Okay, it's with great pleasure to introduce my friend, Mr. Jeff Perkins. Welcome to the show, Jeff.
Thanks, Don. It's good to be with you.
Yeah. So give us some stuff about maybe a little bit about you and how you got started, how the car wash got started, because that's interesting to me.
Well, my dad worked for his dad in Detroit at a car wash, and a shopping center came in and brought my grandfather out, and so my dad was hunting something to do, and my mother had a brother who lived here in Anderson. He was a physician here in Anderson, and so he told my father, he says, why don't you come to Anderson and open up a car wash? So that's exactly what happened. So that was in 1961. So my dad came down and started getting the construction started, and my mother, one of my sisters, and both of my brothers and a dog drove down here in a 1961 3-speed on the column Ford Falcon. So that's how we got here, and that was in 1961. So in February, it'll be 62 years that the car wash has been there.
Wow, long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
And so that's how we ended up getting here. And just to give you a little history on my grandfather played the vaudeville circuit. In 1927, 28, and 29, co-billed with George Burns and Breazeale Allen. And my mother used to travel with him to watch all the acts. And so my mother hence became a drama/English teacher. And so my grandfather's music had a big effect on my oldest brother, who a lot of you may know, Cap Perkins, who played a lot of bluegrass here in the area with Al Osteen, Larry Jefferson, Jack Lawrence. And so that's how Cap got started in all the bluegrass, which was a lot of fun for us growing up.
Now, Cap didn't work at the car wash, did he?
Just for a little while.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Cap was too busy traveling the world.
Yeah.
Met Joni Mitchell in Greece while he was traveling.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, he's been around. He's been around the block a time or two.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how about can you share a little bit of our experience on the mission trips to Haiti? That was kind of interesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what year it was that when we first went down.
I think it was in 85, 6, 7, somewhere around there.
There's a big group of us.
Yeah.
We went down kind of a little later after the big group got there, because I remember we stayed at your mom's house.
Yeah.
And that was a treat.
Yeah, we stayed at mom's.
But then we got down there, and some of the guys were digging wells, and other folks were doing. We stayed in the orphanage, and people were doing There were so many of us. We were doing different things, and we went around and witnessed to a lot of the Haitians. I remember one lady specifically. She didn't take to us very kindly to begin with because we didn't have anything for her. Well, the next day, I know some of the ladies took her a bunch of clothes. What a difference that made in her life.
Yeah.
I believe that day she accepted the Lord as her Savior, and that was just one more added to the kingdom.
Yeah. All right, let's switch back to the car wash business. I know you were there every day, 6 days a week, was it? You were open on 6 days a week.
Yeah, we were open 6 days a week, but I would take a day off during the week.
Yeah.
We all worked on Friday and Saturdays because that was our busiest time.
Yeah. And boy, you go by Perks and there'd be a line going around the block waiting to get a car wash. They were the only game in town
at the time.
There were no self-serve or these drive-through car washes like they have today. They were the first game in town. So, and that boy, when they cleaned your car, boy, it was nice inside and out. I mean, they did a fantastic job over there. And he had some people that worked there for forever. They were dedicated employees to Perx Carwash.
Had people, I know several people who have been there for 40 years.
40 years, imagine that. Wow, that's great. Yeah. And there was a big service, which it still is. They sold the business. It still is a big service to the Anderson community to get a good car wash. So anyway.
I remember when my dad was acquiring the property, the bank that he borrowed the money from to get started, the banker looked at him and smiled and says, well, I guess I'll be getting this property and this money back, because he didn't think it was going to go
Oh, really?
Because I mean, nobody had ever seen that in this area.
That's right. That was a new thing for the area. Yeah. So I guess bankers were a little hesitant at that time, but I'll bet you that same banker, was taking his car there to get washed.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah,
Sure
and I'm sure you've met a lot of cool people, nice people, all those years. Made a lot of friends over there.
I remember Tree Rawlings coming in the car wash, who played basketball at Clemson.
Oh, Trevor Lawrence? Yeah.
No, not Trevor Lawrence. Tree Rawlings.
Oh, Tree Rawlings.
Yeah.
Tree Rawlings.
Played
yeah.
in the NBA. Yeah. He had to about bend over double to get down the hallway. He was huge.
Wow.
Jeff Bostic. A lot of Clemson football players used to come in.
Yeah.
And basketball players.
Wow. And from that, you went on to build probably the first. Let me think. First self-serve.
I don't think it was the first, but it was one of the first.
Yeah, one of the first self-serves. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Don built that for us. That was probably 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're getting old.
We're all getting there.
30 years ago, we just, my brother and I, both aging, and I got some health issues, but we decided it was a good time to sell, so we just sold that about 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
But it was good to us.
Yeah. So now he's loaded and don't have to work and got plenty of money. So he does a lot of traveling now.
My pockets are empty.
Yeah. Well, they travel to see their children. Where do they live now again?
Jacob's in New York. Jeffrey's in Lynchburg. Marty is in Hollywood, South Carolina. Brad's in Conway, and Laurel's here.
Wow, we got them spread out, Mr. Jeff. Yeah. Okay. So back to the self-serve. Let's talk a little bit about the self-serve out on 28 Bypass in Anderson. Yeah, I built it for you, and then you would go there every day.
Every day. My brother and I, Mike, we worked together 40 plus years. See each other every day, and at the self-serve, we'd meet out there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and if we had any repairs needed to be done, of course, it was a good time to do it because there was nobody there to interrupt what you needed to get done, and plus everything would be working when the customers did get there. So every morning we'd see each other. So it's a little different since we sold that. Don't see him as much as I used to, but we still do see each other. So. Yeah, it's a big change there. Yeah,
I'll bet. Yeah, I bet you like not getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
You got that right.
Yeah, gets to sleep in now. He gets to sleep in now. Okay.
I need all the beauty sleep I can get.
Yeah. Let's drop back to your brother, Cat Perkins. He was a very, very accomplished musician, nice guy. I don't think Cap ever met a stranger. Just a wonderful person. Talk a little bit about Cap.
Well, Cap was an original. He was one of a kind. He was about 6 months from graduation at the University of South Carolina, majoring in math. And he quit school, and he had a little bit of money in his pocket, so he hitchhiked up to New York, bought a plane ticket, took a flight to Germany, got a job at an Air Force base in Germany. Saved a little money, met some friends, and they bought a Volkswagen van, and off they went. That was the beginning of his world travels. One thing that he did that some of you may remember, it was on the national news. He and Jim Hobbs and Pat Mullen, all high school friends, before some dams and lakes were built, there was no way to have to, there was a way you had to get out of the water to go down the Savannah River Basin and empty it out into the Atlantic Ocean. The first time they did that, it took them 11 days. The second time they did it, it took them 12 days. Cap was cut out of a different mold. He was very adventurous.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah. And a heck of a guitar player. And he made so many friends in the music scene here in South Carolina.
Yeah, And tell us about his house. That was kind of a unique house that he built.
Let me add one more thing. His last day of school in high school, my mother found his desk in the attic. So he brought his desk home from school as a little memento.
That's funny.
What'd you ask me?
Oh, about where Cap lived was kind of a unique place where he lived.
Lived down in Antwerville, and he built his own house. Built into a side of a hill, and it was like 3 tiers. And on the very top tier, he had decks with trees running through them. And the decks came out, and I guess they'd be about 30 or 40 feet in the air, and you could look over his property from the decks. It was really a very interesting place, but he did it all himself. A cute little story down at his house. He found an injured squirrel, and he had a little bird cage inside his house, and he had a flume that would go outside. Well, when the squirrel got strong enough and well enough, it would come and go. And then one day it went and just didn't come back. Well, Cap had some friends down there, and they were sitting outside on one of his benches, and all of a sudden this squirrel comes up and just sits down beside him. And these people that were visiting him says, "Man, you got this squirrel sitting next to you." And that was the squirrel. It was the last time he saw it. I think it just came to say goodbye and thank you.
Oh, wow. That's a cool story. That is a cool story.
I guess he started out with about 10 acres of land and eventually ended up with, I don't know, 40 or 50, but it was all wooded. His driveway ran through the creek down there, and he'd always have friends over, and they'd play music, and it was always a good time down at Cap's house.
Yeah. I remember one time we were going to Cap's house. I can't remember who I was with, but I know it was some of his musician friends. I think John Erskine was. We were walking up. There was a little path. He didn't want no concrete driveways, nothing. A little paths, and we were walking through there. And I think it was John or somebody in front of him was smoking a cigarette. And he finished up, and he stopped and threw it on the ground. Went like this, and old Cap was in the back, and he said, "Whoa, wait a minute. We're not going to have any of that. You pick up that butt and put it in your pocket and carry it off my premises." The kind of guy he was. He didn't want no cigarette butts or beer cans or anything like that around his property. He kept it natural as can be, very natural as can be.
I think a testament to that is his daughter. When she was visiting one time, they built a goldfish pond right outside of his door. And it was really cool, and they did that together. But she's an environmental biologist, so
really,
Cap wore off on her.
Yeah,
she lives in Costa Rica, which I guess would be heaven for an environmental biologist.
Yeah, wow, we'll have to go visit her.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you and I'll go over there.
Let's go.
We probably won't come back. We got over there. Jeff and I, we can't be together too long because we just have too much fun, right?
We do have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. Yeah, Jeff's been a good friend, and again, we get together and look out, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, get out of the way. So anyway, okay, we got Cap covered. I want to talk about the last days or the last few years of your dad. His dad was a one-of-a-kind guy. He was so cool. I just loved him to pieces. He was a strict man and a businessman, but he was cool. Talk a little bit about the last few years of your dad.
Well, one thing I remember when Don would come up to the car wash and my dad would be hanging around. He wasn't working full time then, but Don would come up to the car wash and he'd have his signs on the side of his truck. Well, before he would leave, my dad would take and turn the signs upside down, the magnetic signs on his truck.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
He loved Don. So,
yeah.
But he was a hard-working man.
Yeah.
Especially starting out, he was a one-man show, and so he put in a lot of hours.
Yeah,
worked very hard. Did. It was he was a good father. He loved my mother to death. When he was at home, it was a little different. He was strict at work, and he tried to do the best he could. But at home, he treated my mother like a queen.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a little story. about my dad and how much he loved my mother was when my mother was sick, she got very weak and she had a hard time moving around the house. So she would stand on my dad's feet and he would just kind of dance her to wherever she wanted to go, to the kitchen, the bathroom, whatever. And while she was doing what she needed to do, my dad would slide love notes up underneath her pillow.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Really?
He loved my mother very much.
Yeah. Wow. I never heard that story, but
Yep.
that's pretty cool. He was a very, very nice man. Loved him to pieces.
But he was a hard worker and a good dad.
And I guess we can share this live. I don't think this is too bad, but his dad was over here at the nursing home near the car wash. Jeff would go there and his brother every day to see Dad and see if he needed anything. And he would get aggravated with the nurses. Come in there and I got to go to the bathroom. He had to call a nurse, go to the bathroom.
He had a stroke, so his left side didn't work.
Yeah.
So it's hard for him to stand up by himself.
So Jeff was over there, and you remember the PVC thing?
Yeah.
Tell him about that.
Well, his left side not working very well, or it didn't work at all. He hated to match the button because he was very independent.
Yeah.
And for somebody to come in and just stand him up and help him to use the bathroom. So he told us to go get him a 3-foot section of PVC pipe. Well, he'd wheel himself next to the toilet, put one end of the pipe up to himself, the other one in the toilet, and he'd pee down the tube. D-Heck would come through and say it's unsanitary. Well, we go get him 3 more.
That's funny, yeah.
So
yeah.
He was the body wasn't working, but the wheels were still spinning.
They were still spinning, yeah. Very innovative guy, yeah. Yeah, I miss him, yeah. He was a cool guy, Okay, I think we got your family covered. Well, not yet. Jeffrey married Sandra, and so he's married to Sandra right now.
42 years.
Yeah. Jeff's dad married Sandra's mom. So that makes...
Well, her mother was single, and my mother had died, and so that we were sitting around one day, and he out by the pool at his apartment where he lived, and he said, you know, I wish I had someone just to go out and have a meal with. And so my mother-in-law says, well, I go out and eat with you. Well, the next thing we know, they're married.
Yeah.
So when my dad married my mother-in-law, made my wife my stepsister. made my dad my stepfather-in-law. Only in the South, baby.
Only in the South, baby. Yeah, that's a funny story, but it's a true story.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. But they're long gone now.
Yep.
So I think I was just telling Jeff early before the show. I said I think we're about the only ones left in our little circle kind of thing. Jeff and I are the only ones left. So we need to do some cutting up before it's too late, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't want to miss an opportunity.
Yeah. And when we'd go to Florida, my mom used to love this guy. Yeah, she would.
She was very sweet and very entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a good person.
Yeah, she was a very good person.
So is Seal.
Yeah, yeah. My sister, I talked
look
to
her. Look a lot alike.
Yeah. I talk to her every day. We talk, communicate in the morning. I got to call her after the show here. So, how much time do we have left, producer back there? We got 4 minutes left. So we're going to talk about what are we going to talk about?
Well, let me give a quick shout out. I don't think I mentioned either one of my sisters. I have
Yeah.
2 sisters. One of them's in Michigan, who my brother and I are going to see in September. We're going to a wedding. I look forward to that. And I have another sister who lives in Danville, Virginia, and married Bill Simpson. A lot of you people may remember Bill. He was an Andersonian. But I just wanted to mention them. I don't want to leave them out.
Yeah, what's their names?
Pat is my oldest sister. She never lived here. When we moved down here, she had just gotten married. She was 18 years old. And my mother felt bad about leaving her up there at 18 years old. But she would go back up and see her every chance she got. And Peggy is the youngest girl. And the 2 oldest sisters and then 2 brothers. And then I'm the baby.
Just the baby. And they're all still living?
They're all still living. The only one who's deceased is Cap.
Oh, Cap's the only one. Yeah. Cap Cap went early, yeah, but he was ready to go. When the Lord calls us, it's our time, you know.
Right.
So how many minutes we got, producer? We got 5 minutes. A minute ago she said 4. So we're going up. Oh, okay. 2 different clocks that she's looking at over there. So anyway, we're here live today on Wednesday at Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back next Wednesday. So you can join us every Wednesday at 11 a.m. to 11:30. We do a 30-minute live broadcast, and I have different guest speakers from time to time. Not necessarily music, could be talking about anything. So I'm hoping to have coming up soon the accountant for the Mars family, Mars Candy Bars family. He takes banjo lessons here once a week. So I've been talking to him about doing a live interview. So yeah, stay tuned, because I'm sure that you'll want to hear about how the candy factories work. And you know, I did not know this, but they also own a lot of other potato chip companies and all kinds of stuff, frozen food companies that they bought out throughout the years. It's still family owned. It's not on the stock market because they haven't made it public. They still want to keep it within the family. So there's still family owned business, which that's rare to find, you know. So we'll have him on the program hopefully shortly. And we got some others that I'm looking at to get here on the program. So, you know, it's an interesting show because we have different people, and not necessarily music, but all kinds of stuff. Whatever you want to talk about, or if you're watching now and want to be on the show, call me, 864-376-1482, and we'll book you. We'll put you on the list to be on the show for a live broadcast that goes live. If I'm not mistaken, it goes worldwide, because I get comments from other countries on the show.
Does this mean I'm going to be famous?
Yeah, you're going to be famous, Jeff. Mr. Jeff Perkins, yeah. You know, Jeff, I think we've done maybe 1 or 2 shows together. He does a lot of, takes after his mom in that field. He did a lot of shows, the Music Man. He's a great performer, and I don't know how he memorizes all those lines that he does, but he's a great performer.
Couldn't do it now.
Yeah, way back. Yeah, so we were in a couple plays together. It was a lot of fun, lots and lots of fun. So looks like we got.
Yeah, thank you for being my friend.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. He's a good man right here. Wonderful guy. I love him to pieces. And someday we'll be in the heavenly together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's coming soon too. Isn't it?
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's around.
Come, Lord Jesus.
Yeah. So it's around the corner. And according to my information here on this iPad, we have about 2.5 minutes left. So I'm going to go ahead and end the show here in just a few minutes. Well, we can kind of end it. Thank you, Mr. Gary Bell back there, our music instructor, banjo, guitar, and singing, and whatever you want to know about music, there's the man to see back there. He's with us every Wednesday. Thank you, Gary, for spending your time here. He has to drive here 30 minutes or more to get here every Wednesday to teach music. It's his passion. He loves it. His brother taught here for years prior to that. So thank you, Gary, for being diligent and helping all of us to learn how to play these instruments. Okay, we got 2 minutes to go. Am I right? 1 minute? 1 minute to go. Oh, not quite a minute, she says. Okay, well, get ready to push the button to end the show, because I'm going to go ahead and end it. So thank you for being with us here at Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass for our Wednesday morning live stream, live show at Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass. Thank you. Come and join us next week, same time, same station. Goodbye.